More than 100 lives lost and increasing. Texas floodwaters rose fast. Warnings came late. Now the blame game is underway. Plus, pay up or face the tariffs. President Trump puts America's trade partners on notice. Fix the deficit or get taxed hard. And war talk at the White House and a Peace Prize twist. Netanyahu stuns Trump with a surprise Nobel nomination. The stories that matter, clear and credible, from across the country to around the world. These are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News. Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. The death toll from this past weekend's catastrophic flash flooding in Texas has now climbed past 100 as rescue crews continue searching for dozens still missing. The worst damage in Kerr County, where 84 people have been confirmed dead, including 28 children. One of the hardest hit areas was Camp Mystic, located along the Guadalupe River, which rose more than 25 feet in about 45 minutes early Friday. The camp now says at least 27 campers and counselors were killed, with 10 campers and 1 counselor still unaccounted for this morning. Fatalities have also been reported in 5 other counties. Texas Senator Ted Cruz told ABC News more than 850 high-water rescues have been made so far. In San Antonio, a vigil was held Monday night to honor the victims, a moment of unity and mourning as the state grapples with the scale of the tragedy. As the search continues, so do questions about whether more could have been done to keep people safe. Some are criticizing the timing of flood alerts, which went out in the middle of the night, and pointing to staffing cuts at the National Weather Service.
We know the National Weather Service provided early and consistent warnings. They gave out timely flash flood alerts. There were record-breaking lead times in the lead up to this catastrophe. There is ongoing flood monitoring, and these offices were well staffed. In fact, one of the offices was actually overstaffed. They had more people than they need. So any claim to the contrary is completely false, and it's just sad that people are pushing these lies.
Okay, so here's a timeline. Floodwaters peaked Friday morning just after 7 a.m. A series of alerts had gone out starting at around 1:15 a.m. with more urgent language to seek higher ground at around 6:30 a.m. And while forecasters say alerts were sent out properly, officials admit if people are asleep, there is no guarantee they will get the warning in time. First, it was a pause. Now it's a pivot. President Trump now says the United States will send more weapons to Ukraine as Russia ramps up attacks.
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard.
The announcement marks a sharp reversal just days after the Pentagon paused shipments. Now, with Russia launching one of its most intense bombardments yet, the U.S. is once again stepping in. Ukrainian President Zelensky says the Kremlin has launched more than 1,200 drones, 39 missiles, and nearly 1,000 guided bombs in just the past week. On Monday, the Pentagon confirmed it will resume American weapons shipments to ensure the Ukrainians can defend themselves. Trump has been pushing for a ceasefire, but now says Russian President Vladimir Putin appears uninterested following a call between the two leaders last week. The tariff talk is back and louder than ever. President Trump has officially revived his trade war threat, warning more than a dozen countries, including close allies, that they will face steep new tariffs unless they strike a deal with the United States by August 1st. Trump posted nearly identical letters to the leaders of South Korea and Japan on social media Monday, threatening a 25% tariff on their exports into the United States. Other countries like Malaysia, South Africa, and Indonesia were also hit with similar warnings, some as high as 40%.
I stood at this podium and I told all of you that the president was going to create tailor-made trade plans for each and every country on this planet. And that's what this administration continues to be focused on.
Markets dropped on the news, and critics say the uncertainty is making it harder for businesses to plan. The White House says deals are in the works with various countries, but for now, it's make a deal with the administration or pay the price. It might have been the ultimate dinner party power move. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu showed up to the White House with quite the gift for President Trump, a letter nominating him for a Nobel Peace Prize. The two leaders sat down for a working dinner Monday night in the Blue Room, their third White House meeting since Donald Trump's return to office. On the table, Gaza, Iran, and the future of the Middle East, and Netanyahu's surprise for the president.
The letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee, it's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well deserved. And you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Well, thank you very much.
The Israeli leader praised Donald Trump's efforts to broker peace deals in the region, even as the war in Gaza drags on and hostage negotiations continue. Behind closed doors, the two leaders discussed a potential ceasefire, rebuilding plans for Gaza, and what a post-war future could look like. But as Netanyahu talked peace in Washington, the war back home raged on. The Israeli military says 5 of its soldiers were killed Tuesday during combat in northern Gaza. Details are scarce. The IDF released their names, but not the mission. 2 other soldiers were seriously wounded. The deaths come as ceasefire talks continue in Qatar. Several major medical groups are now suing the Department of Health and Human Services and Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over what they call unlawful and unilateral changes to the nation's vaccine policies. The lawsuit, filed in federal court in Massachusetts, is backed by the American Academy of Pediatrics and American College of Physicians. It accuses HHS of dismantling vaccine protections, including eliminating the entire CDC Vaccine Advisory Board and removing access to shots like the COVID vaccine. The groups argue Kennedy is pushing a biased agenda and told ABC News he's on the warpath. HHS says it stands by the reforms. Kennedy, who has long faced criticism from vaccine advocates, has not publicly commented on the suit. Finally, they say it's the little things in life, like lacing up your favorite sneakers only to have to untie them at airport security. Well, get this. The shoes off and in the bin rule might be on its way out. TSA is reportedly phasing out the shoes off requirement at several major airports, including Philadelphia, BWI, LAX, and LaGuardia. The official word from Homeland Security to CBS News, we're, quote, always exploring new and innovative ways to enhance the passenger experience and our strong security posture. Well, all right. The rule has been in place, by the way, since 2006 after a failed plot to bomb a plane using explosives hidden in a shoe. The suspect, you might remember, became known as the shoe bomber. All right, here's the Negrelli rule of thumb on shoes to the airport. Always wear easy on, easy off shoes, like these brown loafers. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Secondly, airports are dirty places, so don't wear your best shoes through the TSA checkpoint. Wear shoes like this that have scuff marks on them. Put your good shoes in the checked luggage for when you get there. By the way, it's raining really hard in Omaha today, and that's why I wore these beaters. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on shoes at the airport. It might go away soon for all of us. Want more unbiased updates? Sign up for our newsletter delivered right to your inbox each morning. Go to san.com/newsletter. Before we head out, here's what we're tracking today. At 11 a.m. Eastern, President Trump holds his 6th cabinet meeting since Inauguration Day. Then at 11:40, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heads to Capitol Hill. At 6 p.m., the Texas governor gives an update on the deadly Texas flooding. Those are your unbiased updates for this Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.